Alright, so we already did the body work, did the primer, put a little bit of putty wherever we needed the putty. So the next step is going to be to paint the silver base. This is just a metallic silver base. After that, we're going to use balancer. This balancer is translucent. And then we're going to put some flake on her. And then after the flake, we'll just do our mid coat clear. And after that, we'll sand the clear and then shoot the candy. But let me get started. Alright, so we already got the silver base, silver flake, clear coat. Or this is actually the mid coat. So the next step is to sand all this so we can shoot the gold base or the gold candy. It's pretty shiny. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to start mixing the pegging candy gold. And what we normally do is we use balancer. So what we're gonna do is this is just be like a sample, and we're gonna try to see how much coverage we're gonna get. And then we'll come back, and if we need some more, we'll just add some more. So let me get ready and do a sample spray. Okay, so we did 4 coats there, and it's still not dark enough. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting ready to add a little bit of more pegging gold. So what we're going to do is go ahead and spray another coat and see what happens. Alright, so we just shot the House of Color candy pegging gold. Next step is to shoot the clear. You can see it's real translucent. So let me get started. This gold looks nice. So we're getting ready to try to repair the gas tank and front fender. Try to shoot the gold again. Alright, so that's what it's going to look like in the sun. So we just have to do a pattern. Black, we're going to do fish scales, a little bit of floral. So start sanding. Alright, so I got a little carried away and we didn't film any part of the taping, but so here's the patterns. Right here we're going to go do floral, we're going to do fish scales, floral, fish scales, and so on and so on. So what you see blue would be black, and eventually it's going to have a red pinstripe. Okay, so what we just did right now is we just shot a little bit more of a pegging gold and kind of did it a fade, made the edges a little bit darker than the center gold. And right now we mixed some tangerine candy with the pegging gold, and we're going to do a little bit more of a fade, and then we're going to do tangerine all the way around it. So right now we're going to get ready to start doing the fish scales, and we're using House of Color root beer. We used a little bit of balancer, put some in there. So I'm going to do a couple of patterns, samples to make sure the paint is not too dark. So the color we're using here is just root beer brown from House of Color. The intensity depends on you, just if how many layers you want to put on there. Okay, so we did all the fish scales in root beer brown, and we did a fade here with root beer brown. So what we did is we mixed some black with our root beer brown so we can get a little bit of darker tone on our fade. So okay, so the next step is going to be to remove the blue tape, and whatever is blue, which is now gold, this part is going to be painted black, glossy black. Okay, so the next step we're going to do right now is we're going to lay this green fine line tape on the inside of the design. And the reason for that is we're going to go ahead and tape blue tape over it. So what you see gold right here is going to be painted black. So this would all be glossy black once we're done. And then we're going to come back and do our pinstriping around the design. Okay, so we're getting ready, taking the tape off after painting the black, clear coating the next step would be to clear coat everything. So we're gonna clear coat with a mid coat, and then that would be sanded, and then we're gonna come back and do our pinstriping. All right, so we just shot another set of mid-coat clear. So this needs to be sanded, and then we'll start doing the pinstriping around the black. See how we did a little bit of fade. You can see the fade on the edge right there. So that would be pinstriped red using some one shot and a MAC brush. On to the next step. Okay, so we have some of the red pinstriping done already. On top of the gas tank, we can't do the pinstriping yet because we're getting ready and we're designing the word Amor Eterno. So once we get all that done, I'm going to lay it down with some silver leaf, some black shadows, and yes, some baby blue pinstriping. Okay, so we're just laying down the silver leaf right now. We just lay down the glue adhesive for the silver leaf, and we're laying down the silver leaf. I normally use wax paper to lay it down. Kind of helps me hold everything in place. Right now I'm just kind of pouncing it down. Once it dries down, I'm going to go ahead and use the brush to clean out the edges and stuff. So let me get this done and I'll continue with the brush. Alright, so we shot the final coat of clear. Next step would be to sand and buff, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like out in the sun. I like the way it has a little bit of shadow there. You can see it sometimes in the Okay, so what we're doing now is we're sanding the gas tank with 1500 sandpaper to get ready to buff. So the whole point of sanding it is so we can get some of the imperfection out and some of the orange peel and anything that's sticking up or raising up. So once we buff it, it'll be all smooth and all like all polished up. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and get ready to buff the gas tank. So what we're going to do is put some compound and then we're going to use the machine to start polishing it out. Okay, so after we do the first stage, which is the yellow one, we're going to end up using the second stage, which is the finesse. And this really brings out the shine. Alright, so finally we're here at the show early this morning. Got it done. Alright, so there it is.